Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So how many of you are eaters? It's kind of an obvious one. And how many of you feel that the state of our food nation is in good hands? You know, are you comfortable with the conventional food system? Ooh, all right. Well, the key that we have to look at is how can we support small farming? Today you're on one of the perfect places to support small farming in San Diego County. An acre and a half paradise of food that feeds many people 52 weeks of the year. So I represent a number of things up here today. I'm a small farmer and I have been an organic farmer for 38 years up in North County in Vista. I'm also the president of Slow Food San Diego, and I brought some copies of Edible Magazine. The latest issue is out. If you're interested in the food movement in San Diego, this is a great magazine to watch for. And we have an ad in the back for all three slow food chapters, Temecula Valley, Urban San Diego, and Slow Food San Diego. You can get a hold of us. But the real key is what's happening with our food supply. You know, we in Slow Food represent a good, clean, fair food system for the world. And one of the things that we're looking to do is to bring people back to what happened here today, eating around a table, talking to one another, and having a slow, comfortable meal, enjoying the food, but especially being connected to where the food is from. And here, if the trees were a little closer, you could practically reach up and pick food while you were sitting and dining. Wouldn't that be nice? And the slow food, one of our missions is to preserve small farms and craft producers, artisan producers. So you'll see some amazing things over here today that are produced by artisan producers. Those are important. And I always encourage people, go to a farmer's market and see what's happening. If you haven't been, San Diego County has 30 markets. You've got to be able to find a market close to your home. And go there and meet the farmers that could be feeding you and hug them so they know you care. And they keep coming back, because if they don't think you care, one day they give up, because the system's not very easy right now for small farmers. They say that the average conventional food travels 1,200 miles in the United States before it comes to us. So San Diego County, we're the 7th largest agricultural county in the nation. We have 10,000 small farms. We have more small farms than any other county in the nation. However, we export 95% of what we produce, and we import 95% of what we consume. And you are the ones that can make a difference by going to the farmer's market, supporting a CSA like Seabreeze, and getting to know the farmers in your community, but also becoming the farmers in your community. Everybody has this much space. You could have 4 jars of sprouts on your kitchen counter and have fresh food produced in your kitchen within 4 or 5 days every week of the year. I mean, my favorite are garbanzo bean sprouts. And if you've never had raw garbanzo hummus from beans that you sprouted, let me tell you, it's something else. But the other key that we're involved in is taste education. Right now in San Diego County schools, 33% of our high school age kids are considered obese. And the level of diabetes is soaring in high school students. It's amazing. When I was teaching at the San Pasqual Academy, I had 3 students become diabetics between 16 and 17 years old, and one 18-year-old with hypertension, you know, an adult disease. But what's going on? And, you know, in this world, it's become, we've all heard you are what you eat. You know, it makes a lot of sense. But it's actually become a little more critical, because you are what you eat eats. Because if you're not eating something that's fresh and vital, then, you know, what is the food that you're eating, you know, fed on? You know, we've had various scandals. I mean, we had an egg scandal recently where they were feeding tainted feed and then getting tests that said the eggs were bad, but until they were caught by people dying, they didn't stop. And I don't know if you like that, but I don't. You know, in conventional agriculture as well, the large part of our nation and world depends upon it, but it's hooked on oil. If we run out of oil, which may be happening, we're going to be challenged because, you know, oil runs the tractors, oil makes the pesticides, the herbicides, and the fertilizer, and oil transports it that 1,200 miles to get it to you. When all of that changes, pay attention. It's time to start thinking about what you can do in terms of growing at home. Because if you don't have room for a garden, maybe you can have a couple of potted herbs or at least some sprouts. Maybe you can share a garden. I helped a group of folks up in the Bonsall area. 9 families got together because one person had a property. And depending upon the type of space you have, you can also do the vertical growing system. I don't know if you've toured their garden. Down here, about 10 steps down on the left-hand side, are these fantastic towers for growing. You know, 4 of those could fit on the space of a chair or 2 chairs on somebody's deck on a condo. So you even there could have space to grow. But the real key is we need to support local agriculture. We really welcome all of you for coming out today and enjoying this event, enjoying great food and great atmosphere and wonderful people, because you are supporting our local farm community. And in the future, pay attention to where your food comes from. You know, it's like you like to know who your doctor is. Would you want to have somebody work on you who was behind a sheet and you couldn't see their face? No, I can't reveal who I am, but, you know, I don't know. But we trust somebody that sends a box through a truck 1,200 miles to have our best interests in mind. This is an interesting time also in the world. Some people are noticing climate change. Well, climate change is really affecting us in agriculture. Last year we had June gloom in July here in San Diego County, and tomato crops were really the worst in many, many years because we just didn't have the heat. We had all this moisture. The United Nations recently published a study saying that if we switch to agroecological techniques, that we could largely get off the oil and the chemicals and double world food production on the footprint of agriculture. So pay attention for changes like that, where it means diversifying the food system, bringing nature back in, and having many different things. This property is an agroecological example of mixing many different things together and having it be incredibly healthy without having to use lots of chemicals and other inputs. So eat something new and different this year as well. Pick something up that you've never tried before. Try kohlrabi and see how you can prepare it and discover some amazing things. Enjoy yourselves today. Thank you very much for your attention. And we look forward to welcoming you to other events this year. And ask me for one of these. My sandwich and I have got to go.